In our very first podcast, we're joined by Julien, the 7-figure Pinterest king. And today we're going to talk about number 1, how to sell and scale in Germany profitably while paying VAT. Number 2, how to get started selling on Pinterest. And number 3, how is Pinterest different and what you need to scale on the platform. So let's dive right into the podcast. Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome to the first episode of eCom Insider Talk by agencyJR. Today we're joined by Julien. Introduce yourself.
Thanks for inviting me to your first podcast. I feel really honored. And yeah, really nice introduction. And I'm really happy to be here on the podcast with you and talk about all the stuff about e-commerce, Pinterest ads, whatever you have on your heart. We can talk about it. And yeah, thanks for your invitation, Reynes and Jacob. Happy to be here.
100%. Had to start strong with the Pinterest king, the man, the self-proclaimed king of selling things to Karens on the internet.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah. So maybe we could start off the podcast by taking things back. I think you started in 2019 with eCom and everything. Yeah, is that true, or was that earlier?
Yeah, it's kind of true. I started my first online shop in my first dropshipping store in 2019 with Facebook ads. I was selling actually the posture corrector product. I think you're familiar with it, the most well-known dropshipping product. And I was making little sales, 800 euro revenue or something. And of course, I got banned on Facebook December of 2019. And it took me a while to get back on track with the new setup and everything. So I was really annoyed by the Facebook rules. So I was looking out for a new way to advertise. And for me, it was only Google or Pinterest. And to be honest, Google was way too difficult for me. It was I was overwhelmed by the dashboard and the functionalities. So I was trying out Pinterest with some of my friends. And since then we stick to Pinterest ads mainly.
Right. Gotcha. And with Pinterest, okay, so overall with all your eCom, with everything you've been doing in eCom, have you been sticking to Germany, or did you kind of start in the US as everyone and then you decided let's try?
No, actually I was starting in Germany because I was watching this one YouTube guy, I think his name is Gabriel Saint-Germain, one of the OG dropshipping gurus. Yeah. And he was selling the posture corrector in the US. And I was okay, I know how to build landing pages because I was building landing pages for businesses here in Germany back in the days as a freelancer. So I was okay, I just have to figure out how to run ads and creatives. And I also copied most of the systems and structures from the gurus. So I was starting it in Germany. It was working out. And in the beginning, it was funny. I was doing the creatives all by myself with a posture corrector. And I was advertising it in Germany. And one of my ads got 1.5 million views on Instagram. And I was still then in university. And I got I think 2 or 3 times it happened to me. People came to me from a university, people I haven't talked at all. And they were bro, are you this on the phone, on Instagram? Nice. Are you modeling or something? I was no, it's actually my online shop and everything. But this is how everything started out. And I tried to sell in the US, but with my German company, it was a little bit more difficult. You're accepting foreign currencies with PayPal and Stripe. You have extra conversion fees. So it was not that profitable, and Germany was way more profitable for me, except the refund rates and the VAT you have to pay here with the German company. But anyways, we were still making most of the time 15 to 25% net margin after VAT. So yeah, I was selling, I would say 98%, 95% in the German market.
Nice. Maybe a quick question from my side. I'm curious, how did you even get started with eCom? How did you come across eCom as one of the online businesses?
Yeah, it's a really longer story. To make it short, I was flipping Instagram pages back in the days. I was growing them and selling them, and also promoting, offering shout outs on those pages for little money. And I had most of my pages in the wheat niche and travel and luxury. And I had actually the biggest wheat pages in Germany with more than 100,000 followers on Instagram. So I was at some point, I was hey, how can I monetize it even more? And I was selling pipes for weed, but like
Uh.
from made with gemstones, like really nice. It was my first business actually. I opened like this company like 2017. So I was selling those weed pipes with my own Instagram pages by promoting them, and it went pretty good. I was like growing the Instagram account to 11K organically, only with shoutouts and content creation. But it was like really slow, and you didn't had like the leverage of paid advertising because it was like not allowed for cannabis at all. And at some point, I got banned on PayPal with like with my PayPal account because I was selling like weed pipes, and I didn't know it actually. I haven't read the terms of services. But the funny thing is, like, I was like, okay, I had to pay rent, and I had like this predictable cash flow. It was a little bit only, but it was kind of predictable. So I was like, okay, I have to find out the other way to make money. And then I started drop shipping actually with the account of my mom, with the PayPal account. It got also banned, and then I opened a new company with a friend, and since then we had no problems after like transferring 7 figures of amounts with PayPal in Germany. And this is like how I started with drop shipping, especially because I had to make money to pay my rent at some point, and my little business was like the weed pipes were like not working anymore, so I had to find a new way to make money in the internet actually.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I remember I was also trying to do stuff with Instagram. Personally, I didn't have that much success with that, but you all gotta start somewhere. Like for example, I know Jacob started with like he was like flipping watches, doing that
Oh,
online.
nice.
In Germany,
Yeah.
Actually,
Really?
like 2 3 years. Yeah, a crazy start as well.
Yeah. So we all come from these kind of like small side hustles that just come together to something bigger. One thing I wanted to touch upon, which has been like since last July or whatnot, which has been a challenge for a lot of dropshippers, VAT. I remember the story that you posted when basically the change is about to happen of like you being by a garbage bin, like, oh yeah, I'm quitting eCom, working as a garbage man now. Yeah, and I remember like a lot of people had that mentality because a lot of
Yes.
people in Europe they were not paying VAT, but I know in Germany you had to. So kind of like maybe like my general question is, how did you manage to get those 15%, like 15-20% margins with VAT when other people were struggling to even like get 15% margins without VAT? Like, what were you doing differently?
Yeah, really good question actually. I was thinking about that with my German friends as well, like because we will have also like a lot of like friends from the Netherlands, from Belgium, from France or other like countries in Europe, and they never paid VAT and they were still profitable. They were scaling even faster than we did, and we were asking ourselves like, how could we manage to get like a good refund? Good healthy margin even after VAT, because we had to aim for like a higher ROAS. For example, the break-even ROAS for most of my products with my German company was like between 2 and 2.3. And I know like from my friends in Netherlands, at this point they made like 20% net margin or something. So for us, it was like always like aiming for like a 3.7 ROAS or 4 ROAS, like to sell like sustainable with like a healthy profit margin. As well, one of the biggest, not problems, but challenges is like the refund rate. The German customers are really picky. They are like are really emotional when it comes to buying products online. They have like a high purchasing power. But when the product arrives, especially from China after 8 days or something, they are like really willing to send it back because it just costs like €4 something to make like a local package delivery. And you are like, it's like German law that you have to accept refunds if you are a German company. So they easily send it back to you. I had like I think 3 warehouses in Hamburg where I'm living, like full of like refunds. I think it was like worth 6 figures or something. And yes, there's also like one of the things like you had to put in your margins, because I had like a refund rate of 8% on average, which is pretty high. But I know like a lot of dropshippers would have similar refund rates if they would accept refunds in the local country they're selling to. But back to your questions, why we had like a better ROAS, I would say we stick a little bit more on like quality launches. For example, still now we put like a lot of effort to create a landing page. We don't just copy it like with some tools with what other dropshippers are doing. We are looking for the 5 best landing pages, for example, and then we make our own content out of it. So we just pick out the best ones, and then we do like a combination out of everything. And this is like what we also do for the creative. So we were like really like putting more effort into it. And I still know like a lot of friends, they're crushing it in Germany with a German company, paying VAT, accepting refunds. It's way more difficult, but you're also more like convinced to improve your skills, because you have to improve your skills, your marketing skills, your copywriting skills, and so on as well. This was also like a point where I come in touch with you guys. It was I think in October, something like that, 2020, where we worked together.
Yeah.
We were starting with Pinterest, not starting, but we were working with Pinterest. It was working pretty good. And I still remember like the first months, we haven't done any email marketing. And I knew like we have to do it because it will get us like additional revenue. And I still remember like the first or second months we worked together, we made like 150,000 with our online shop and 20 or 30,000 with email marketing. What was like insane for me, because this was like free money we left on the table for multiple months. So on this part also, thanks again. It was really nice. But this is like what you have to take in mind. You have to do like also like omni-channel marketing. Do like a Google brand search. If you don't advertise on Facebook, make at least retargeting. We did like mainly Pinterest, so we still like have done like Facebook and Google ads retargeting. So really simple things which will like improve like your overall ROAS. And this is like, I would say maybe the key factors, or like key things why we had like a better ROAS maybe. And also we are more familiar with the German market. Like we are really native when it comes to the language. We understand like the German customers, because every country has a little bit different buying personas. Like the American people are buying completely different than the Germans.
Yeah.
If you sell in the US market, you need like a lot of countdown timers and a lot of colors on your landing page. If you do that in Germany, you will probably fail. So we knew really good the German market. So this is like what was really helpful for us. But in the end, I would say it would balance everything out. If you're like a foreign dropshipper from Netherlands, for example, and selling in the German market, you don't have maybe the perfect native language, you don't know the perfect like buying persona, but you have the benefit of the no VAT. So at the end, it will balance everything out. And so for us, it was not a big problem with like the change from July, because the only thing we had to do is declaring our packages with like a IOSS number. And that's it. And the rest is like doing our accountant with like the, I don't know, taxes, import taxes, and I don't know, you also get some taxes back. And I'm not involved in that, but for us, it was not a big change at all, luckily.
Gotcha. So we actually have a client of ours that's selling in the US, and they want to start selling in Germany. Maybe like if you were talking with someone who just wants to get into the German market, like what are the key things they need to understand that's different from Germany to other markets for them to successfully start selling there?
Good question, actually. I just tested a little bit the US market, but I have some friends who are mainly only advertising in the US. So I know a little bit like how a funnel should look like in the US. And I can tell in Germany, you really have to take care when it comes to landing pages first, that you have like a really clean landing page. That means like in the best case, you only use like 3 colors, black, white, and like 1 accent color, like, I don't know, a pink color if you're selling a woman product, a blue color if you're selling like a health product. So you stick really to like a really clean design of your whole landing page or your whole shop. And you're also not hard selling. You're not like really aggressive selling. You're doing just like your copywriting should be like, here are the benefits of our products. It's helping a lot of other people, but you should leave the decision to buy the product at the customer and not try to hard sell them and convince them, like some landing pages in the US are doing it, for example. There are like some landing pages with ClickFunnels and everything where you have like really, really strong copies going deep into the pain and everything. And we split tested it with like a app called NeatAB. There you can do some simple split test on your landing page. It's a really nice app for Shopify stores. And we tested like different approaches from the copywriting, a more aggressive one and a more like soft, lenient one. And the soft one was working way better for our like customers, so we stick to it.
Gotcha. And behaviorally, do you see that, for example, with marketing that's not as aggressive, are German, like, does it take more time to, for example, convert the German audience? Or
I have no idea, actually. I have no data like how long it takes like in the US store when you sell it to the US.
I'm not saying like on the site. I'm saying like in terms of the market cycle itself. Like, do you need to focus more on the mid funnel and retargeting, for example, from what you've seen compared to your friends, or like, is it basically, like, my question is it easy to convert with prospecting campaigns, or do you really need to focus and hone in more on like retargeting and yeah?
Yeah, good question. So I would say, of course, retargeting middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel is necessary, because there you can really squeeze out everything out of your audience. But I would say the 80% of our like campaigns are like top of the funnel. So we don't have to convince like the customers that hard with so many touch points in the retargeting funnel, because we try to catch them in the first touch point. This is also really helpful, necessary for us, because we have to aim for like a high ROAS. So we have to create our funnel in that way that we convince them to buy in the first touch point, where we can really acquire them for low cost. And I know like in the US, you have like a more stronger retargeting funnel, what I know from my friends. But in general, yeah, we do like most of it like in cold campaigns, and retargeting around 20% or something like that.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Yeah. So I think one thing that's interesting to me, going back to like what you previous talked about, media buying and running ads and whatnot. When it comes to content, you're running on Pinterest, like you've been running on ads. Are you like in Germany? I know that like copywriting, it's not copywriting, but copyright is more strict and whatnot. Are you, for example, always creating, let's say, custom creatives, or are you, let's say, repurposing some other content as well?
A really good question, but also like a really straight one. So I'm honest, like we test products with like content which is available on the internet from our supplier, or like which is free available, but we only use it like for testing, and we also like cut the video together. We have like I called it like a pattern of a winning creative. I have like some SOPs for my content editor, my copywriter. And this is like showing like which type of like content is working the best, especially for Pinterest. It's clearly following like the AIDA model, but also like some really examples of what clips you can use as a scroll stopper, or like for like creating desire at the customer and so on. So I was like really breaking down our all winning creatives and trying to find like some patterns. So we are like using the free content on the internet and try to create a creative following to our SOPs. So when we are doing that and we see like good positive feedback from the market, by like launching a campaign, and we have like already a really good ROAS of 6 or 5 on the first day over multiple sales and over multiple days. This is like, hey, the product is hot right now. The creatives are working. The landing page is perfect for the customer. And then we go more in depth in the product. And I can tell you, for the products we sold like for multiple months, I have like one of our products we sold like from March to December. Then we had to do a little break. It was like also one of our one product stores. We created like every week like new creatives. We are using like Fiverr. I was sliding into like a lot of DMs from girls on Instagram to create content, also for TikTok. And this is like what we do like when we see like positive feedback. So we try to like keep our resources which we have to invest pretty low in the beginning when it comes to time, money, and also like effort for creating own content. We just want to see like if the product is like in demand right now or not,
Right.
because you just have to do like a lot of tests. You have to test 10 products, and there are products which are selling way better right now than other ones. And right now we also like sell a lot of seasonal products, so you have to test a lot. And when you see like potential in a product, the challenge is like to create really good own content in a short time of period, so you can really squeeze out everything out of the product during the season, if it's not the evergreen product, for example. So this is like the challenge, but this is like our structure right now. We're testing with like free available content on the internet, and then when we see positive feedback, we try to create own content as soon as possible.
Yeah, gotcha. Like on the topic of testing with Pinterest, as far as I remember, you cannot target conversions unless the pixel has been like triggered the conversions event like 500 times. I remember in a story you had something that you have your own ways on going about that. So maybe you can get like a little bit of a sneak peek for those people who want to start testing Pinterest but they can't get into conversions yet. So
I have to say, like, Pinterest is like really hard for starting out or to getting started, because they have like this one challenge. If you want to run like conversion events or like conversion campaigns in the first day, you first have to run traffic campaigns for like, I don't know, 7 days, and you have to collect like 50 conversions in the 7 days until like the conversion event is unlocked. And me and my friend, we did like we like created like an HTML code, which is like faking conversions. And I have like a document, because so many people ask me on Instagram that. So if anybody's listening to it, they can just hit me up on Instagram. I will send it to you. And the HTML link code, you have to install like in your Shopify theme, and then you have to follow like some steps which I explained in the document. And most of the time, after 24 or like 36 hours, you can run conversion events. So it takes like 1-2 days until it's unlocked. And most people, I know like a lot of drop shippers which are doing like good numbers, like middle 6 figures, sometimes 7 figures in a month, and they don't know how to run Pinterest ads because they don't come to the like 50 conversions in 7 days with Pinterest, which is also like pretty hard if you never tested Pinterest ads. So this like little cheat code is helping a lot for starting with Pinterest.
Right. And then Pinterest by itself, I know it's a different kind of a media buying platform than let's say Facebook. Well, not it's not as intuitive in a way, because the social media platform by itself has been designed differently. So for you, let's say I'm new here. I want to start learning Pinterest ads. What do I need? Like how do I need to think about media buying there, about creatives there, to actually be successful?
Yeah. Okay. I would say there are like 3 really important things. First of all, the product, the creative, and the landing page or the shop itself. So when it comes to product selection, I would highly recommend only selling broad products. If you're selling in a European country, for example, Germany, which is like the biggest one when it comes to audience size for Pinterest. So product selection, you need a broad product, or like a product which can be sold to every woman, because around, I think 78% of all users are women, and only like 22% are like men. And so it's really important that you're selling like a broad product which can be used by every gender, or only like a woman product. Because if you're selling a man product, for instance, like a beard trimmer or something, you have like a really small audience, and a lot of advertisers are like running ads on broad. So you have a lot of competition, but only a small audience. So it will be like more difficult to catch those customers as well. The volume you can push is not that high as you would say if you would sell like a woman product. So first of all, only broad products or woman products. I would highly recommend like selling products if you want to acquire a customer with the first touch point, selling them between 25 to 40 euro. You can also sell like products for 60 euro, for example. I don't know, like, like the like IPL hair removal laser and everything like that.
Right.
I don't know, some type of massage devices. I was selling all of those. But it's way more difficult to sell them with the first touch point. There you need like a more advanced retargeting funnel. So we do, like, as I mentioned, 80% cold campaigns. So we stick to like the 25 to 40 euro selling price range when it comes to product. And the second thing is like creatives. So creatives, I would highly recommend you like using a similar creative like on Facebook. So the creatives can be really similar. You can also like run like square creatives like you do on Facebook. But what I can highly recommend you is like doing like a vertical creative for Pinterest. That means if you have already like a winning creative on Facebook, which is crushing it, I would highly recommend you like creating like a vertical version out of it, which means like either you do like the TikTok sizing of 180,
9 by 16.
yes, 9 by 16, or like 2 to 3, you know, a 2 by 3. And those two vertical types, vertical video types are working pretty well. And around 70% of the placements on Pinterest, if you're using your phone, are vertical. So if you don't have a vertical creative, you will be only shown on the square placements, which are more like, which cost more because like a lot of people are putting their creative on it, and you only have like 30% of the potential placements you can show your ads. So I can highly recommend you, if you have a winning creative, do like a square video out of it and a vertical video out of it. And when it comes to the structure, what the video should include, first of all, it should follow like the AIDA principle, but you can keep it pretty similar like Facebook. I don't want to go in depth with like the structure, more like what has like a bigger leverage. For example, also like the font size. You can do the font size pretty big, because the difference between Pinterest and Instagram or Facebook, for example, is in your feed, on your Pinterest feed, you see like 5 pins or like 5 postings at the same time. And they're like really small. On Instagram, you see most of the time in the news feed like 1 post or like 1.5 posts. So if you really want to stand out, you have to use like a bold font, like a really good strong hook with a bold font. That means you can really use like 20% of the video size can be like the font. It's totally fine. It looks a little bit like for like grandmas who can't read. So, but this is like a good creative, actually. Yeah, we have like our one creative. I'm not proud of it because it's looking a little bit ugly, but it has like 29 million views, like on German on the German market. That means like, and they have only 50 million users. That means like every user has seen the video 2 times.
Yeah,
and we are running this ad since March or something, April last year. So 9 months, something like that.
Almost a year.
Yes.
If
That's
it
also
works, it works.
Yeah, it's a cool thing. You can use on Pinterest, like you can sell for a really long time. I stopped like in December most of my German shops because I closed my one German company, and I still have the shops online, and I still get like on some shops like 300 visitors each day. Like,
This
but
is
I
from
can't.
organic?
Yeah, it's organic. It's only like the videos which went viral, which you promote, which got millions of views, which has like some dominance in Pinterest and people searching for the search terms or something like that.
Right.
And you still get like some traffic, not much, but a little bit. And unfortunately, I can't monetize the traffic because the company is already closed and the checkout is disabled. But when it comes to creatives, really use like a big, bold font, vertical videos, and like a similar structure like on Facebook. More like a Facebook creative than like a TikTok creative, in my opinion. And the third thing is like what I mentioned. So first, like product selection, woman or like broad product. Creatives do vertical and square, around 30 seconds long with like big bold fonts. And the third thing is like the copywriting or the landing page in the shop itself. If you're, for example, testing with a general store, I can highly recommend you like creating like a woman general store, which means like you need like pink color or like purple color. You're selling, I don't know, hair combs, bras, typical woman products, makeup products, beauty products. And the store should look like designed for women when you sell like mainly women products. So because I know like a lot of general stores which are like selling on Facebook mainly, they have like green colors. They look a little bit more for men. And on Pinterest, it's really important that you specialize your store for women.
Yeah, because like the 80% is like women, yeah. And also like one thing you mentioned that the products they should be like closer to like low ticket, around 20 to 40 euros, right?
Yes, yes. Then you can directly like get the conversion with the first touch point.
Yeah, gotcha.
Maybe one quick question, like what's the biggest mistake you see people do with Pinterest? Like you mentioned like the top 3 tips, like what's the biggest or the most frequent mistake you see people make?
I would say like they don't first it's like more challenging because if you're like a newbie and you don't know how to run Pinterest ads, you're like failing already like creating your first conversion campaign, for example. But for that we have like the HTML code, which everybody can contact me if they want it. And
Hit up Instagram at Julien Alive.
correct. And the second thing I would say is like they're testing with the same approach like they do on Facebook. For example, on Facebook, if you test like 5 products a day, or for example, you see straight a winner from day one. On Pinterest, you also see it but sometimes it takes like 3 days until the campaign is like optimizing for the audience. And most of the time we let the campaign of a product running for at least 3 days or 4 days. And they're stopping or quitting too fast. That's like the second biggest mistake, I would say. And they also do like low quality launches. So you can do like, everybody has a different dropshipping approach. I know friends are testing like, I don't know, 2 products in 3 months, but they go really in depth with like custom content, gem pages, landing pages, copy, click funnels, pre-sale pages, and so on, like really in depth with the funnel. And it's working out for them. And I know people that are testing like 10 products a day, like really, like I heard this quote from
Spam testing.
yeah, from one of my like Dutch Pinterest clients. He said like mass is cash. Like you have to test like a mass amount of products and then you can make cash. This was like his like mindset. And I was like, no, you have to put a
Right.
little bit more effort, because otherwise you cannot validate if the product is working or not.
Well, I mean, so sorry to know, like when it comes to Dutchies, it's actually pretty interesting because we work with a lot of Dutch clients. We work with clients from Sweden, the US. It's basically like what I've seen. It's kind of like the approaches they've been taught from let's say gurus or their friends. Because in the Netherlands, you have Joshua Katz, for example, and the way they've been structuring stores, like you just run general stores, you test a shit ton of products. And whereas, for example, in Sweden, I have a friend of ours, Philip Isberg. He tests just like one product, one shop, and that's it. And I know the Dutchies, like we were at a dinner in Dubai, and he told them about that. They're like, "What? Like you can make money with that?" Like I thought, one product, it doesn't work at all. Like people want to see a variety, right? So it just kind of like what you've been taught. Like all of it works. All of it works.
Yes. So the same what I have also recognized from my friends, which are testing like 2 products in 3 months, or like the friends, also Dutch guys, testing like 10 products a day.
Yeah.
Both is working. But I would say on Pinterest, try to be more in the range of like more quality launches than quantity. So you can also launch like still a lot of products, but make sure that the landing page has like proper German language.
Right.
For that, you can use like some simple translators which have really good German language. And try to put a little bit more effort into the product launches. And then on Facebook, I would say if you're testing like a bunch of products. But besides that, I would say those 2 things are like the biggest mistakes.
Biggest ones, right? Have you tried running like anything to do with native ads?
No, you mean like no.
Taboola and whatnot. Yeah, the reason why I asked that is because like what you mentioned with the ClickFunnels squeeze pages and whatnot, it just kind of like reminded us of one client we were working with. They were running native ads, and basically they were just running traffic through advertorials. It wasn't just going straight to the shop. They were going through advertorials, and then the advertorial sold people, and then they converted. And the interesting thing is, like compared to Facebook, they had like a lot of people fall through in the advertorial, but it was so good that the people who stick until the end, a lot of them buy, and they were very, very profitable. I think like Jacob, do you know, like in 8 months or 6 months they made like, I don't know, like close to 10 million. from nothing.
I think about 8 in like 6 months or so, but yeah, crazy good.
Yeah, crazy good. And like what you mentioned with quality over quantity, it just kind of reminded me of that as well, because for them as well, they found a product, a creative, like a landing page that just works, and they just ran it for like those entire like 6 months without basically changing a thing. They basically just find something that sticks, it just works, and they continue running with that. So that's that. Actually, going back to like the creative stuff, and like what you mentioned with like resizing stuff like 16 by 9 and then 2 by 3. I remember like when Nick Shackelford was teaching us how to run Facebook ads, one of the things like he mentioned what he makes his video editors do is like when they like run creatives, he just asks them to like, look, create this creative in 4 by 4, 4 by 5, 16 by 9. That's it. We have everything we need. Like for them to make those edits, it's fairly simple. If it's like if you see it can be scaled, you already have all the kind of like native native placements, so you can just start running that, and you don't have to worry about creatives there. So all right, besides Pinterest and like what you're doing with media buying, whatnot, what's new for Julien? What are you working towards? What's like some exciting project that you maybe keeping in the dark?
5-year goal. What's your 5-year goal?
My 5-year goal. Oh, good question,
plan.
actually.
Yes.
So actually, I look like more like 2-3 years. Like it's more like not reachable, but more like I can imagine way more than 5 years, for example. But let's stick to 5 years. Like, for example, or let's say 2-3 years, because I know this a little bit better. I still want to stick into e-commerce. I want to do like more consulting by the side, because I got like a lot of like requests on Instagram, because I was posting just by fun, like a lot of Instagram insights, Pinterest insights, and I wasn't able to like call with people, help them out, because I was so focused on my e-commerce business. And recently I started like helping people by side, but my main love is like e-commerce, but also like working with people. I had like also one client, he was doing like, I think we started in October and we worked like for 4 months, and he did like 400K or something with the same products, where he was doing like 700 euro revenue per day or something.
Yeah.
Like, it was really also like really a different kind of feeling, like when you tell people
More
like
enjoyable,
something.
right?
Yes, it was a little bit different than like selling like another like beauty product
Karen product.
like to Karen in Germany. It's like a little bit different. I also like I'm in crypto like since 2017, but I was also thinking like I was only watching from the side. Of course, I put every month like a little bit money into it.
Yeah.
But I was like, if I would like put my whole focus to crypto, for example, in 2019, I would maybe made more money. So this also I'm looking right now.
We have this interesting project called AJR coin. Would you like to invest, my friend? Be some liquidity for our ICO.
Yeah. Do you also have some NFTs like from you both guys, like cartoon picture? Then I would maybe invest it and print it out somewhere, hang it on my wall. That would be dope.
We know we have something better you will enjoy. Jacob knows what I'm talking about. They're orange. They're orange. Do you have them by you? Okay, so this is an exclusive for people who are watching the video. If you're not watching the video, tune in right now. Jacob's looking for our 7-figure award, 8-figure
limited edition, only 500 physical NFT
copy. and turn the other side. Turn the other side. We've got it. We've got it branded.
Represent AJR.
AJR on these.
I think you also have like some hoodies or something like that.
Yes,
I've seen it like on some postings or so.
Yeah. We do. We gotta send some your way. Like we have a client in Netherlands. It's his only hoodie. Like he just always like you could. Oh, it's Kevin. It's Kevin. It's Kevin's only hoodie.
Kevin.
Yeah. He has.
Kevin's a great guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what you need is like the iced out chain with like the Klaviyo logo we talked about.
Yes.
This
Yes, we talked about that. We talked about that.
it would be dope.
That's actually a pretty cool idea. Just like record ads with that Klaviyo diamond partner.
Yeah. That would be dope. Or something with like a Shopify symbol would be also nice, like for dropshippers.
That could be like, dude, that's an idea for you. For your students, once they hit, I don't know, like a certain amount of revenue, they should be getting those. Like you should mass produce those and just get those to your students.
Yeah. True. Would be a dope
Run
idea.
those up. Run those up.
Great. But to return
Yes.
to your 5-year plan, so crypto.
Yeah. So right now, actually, I'm also like in the phase where I got a little bit bored by drop shipping at all, and I was thinking what I should do, and I was like, I have like one product. We did like this, like the same creative where we did like 29 million views on Pinterest was one creative, and we did like from March to December last year, like I think 800,000 euros something only with Pinterest, because I was trying it on Facebook. I got like on the second day I got banned or something, and I really like the product, and it's also like a good product where you got happy customers, like you're selling products with dropshipping where you get like people, they're not that satisfied, but with this product people were satisfied. I was satisfied because also refund rate was kind of low. I was making good money, pretty automated with Pinterest at some point, but I also got lazy because I could do so much more with the product. I could do Google Shopping, I could do Facebook, and I was sleeping a little bit. And I
Right.
want to bring this product back on track. And I want to put this time a little bit like the customer, like in the middle, not like the money, not chasing the money, because I was chasing the money the last 1.5, 2 years when I was starting out, but I had to, because I had to make money to pay my rent and everything and to start. But right now I'm a little bit like, I want to think long-term, especially when I see like with my closed stores, I see like, hey, we got still like a lot of organic traffic, which
Yeah.
can build up, you know? And I thinking like,
momentum.
hey, yeah, you just focus on your first sale, but imagine like keeping this customer and he will repeatedly buy like every 2 months. It's similar, like, I don't know, like you get like really good in acquiring customers, like with the first touch point, but you're not that good in keeping them, you know? It's similar, like you can, for example, you can meet a girl in the nightclub and you can always pull her. And your skill, like pulling girls at your home, your gaming skills, let's say it like that, it's getting better and better, like for one night stands. But at the end, you can just pull, but can't keep them. And I think it's good to have like a combination of both, you know, like keeping it, because this also takes kind of different effort and different skills than getting them, for example. And right now I was only like focusing getting customers, but not keeping them that much as I want. So this is like what I'm focusing right now. With my one stores, we do a lot of like UGCs. It's still like in the making. I have like, I just launched like recently, like 2 weeks ago after Chinese New Year. But I want to go really in depth with this product. And my goal is like making at least 20K days with the product.
Beautiful.
This year, the biggest one we did was like 8K last year, only with Pinterest. I was like,
yeah, you can brand it. You can go on the channel, you can get organic traffic.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of the brand.
So for me, it's like I want to stick to e-commerce, and I want to go a little bit away from the drop shipping approach, which is kind of shady in some points. And I want to be like a little bit more long term with some, let's call it brands, you know, like some stores which are a little bit more long term, which you focus on customer experience, and also by the side consulting. But trying to do a little bit more like the long-term approach of e-commerce and by the side consulting.
Yeah, well, look, like when you get into branding, whatnot, there's a lot of things. Like you as a dropshipper, dropshippers they're very good at, for example, media buying, building stores up and whatnot. But branding is a different skill set, and I think that's definitely the next logical evolution step. We had two of our clients, both were doing like 7 figures dropshipping. They both switched over to branding. Jacob, you know who I'm talking about. Both in the Netherlands. You'll probably understand, yeah. But it's also like, yeah, it's a longevity game, because with dropshipping you can hire out teams, you can build teams. There's going to be a lot of issues, a lot of interruptions. Whereas with a brand, you can put all your efforts into, let's say, a company, and then just scale it. And then most exciting thing, I think, the most exciting thing when it comes to branding is when you get really good at building teams, finding product market fit and scaling that. You can build up stores, scale them up, and sell them. And
yes, that's a big money, actually.
Yeah.
Getting like a paycheck, which is like 3 or 4x of your profit.
Yeah, exactly.
I was talking like 2 months ago on December with like a guy. It's a friend of my other dropshipping friend.
Yes.
And he was doing Amazon FBA, and he sold his Amazon brand for like a 7-figure amount, like really one paycheck, 7-figure. And he started also like 2-3 years ago with e-commerce. Yeah. And he was doing, I think, same or even less profit than we did last year. But he got like 3-4x of his yearly profit with one paycheck. And this company was 2 years old. It's crazy. Yeah. And this is like where the real money is. And yeah, that's also like what I was focusing more. Why I want to have like a brand. It's a little bit more long-term, and it's also like more challenging. I got really bored, especially I was sticking most of the time only on Pinterest. And Pinterest haven't done that much development, or you didn't have to like optimize your skill set that much on the media buying part. Of course, like hiring, setting up systems, but it was not challenging that much. So right now I'm a little bit looking for something which is challenging for me, and like learning new things about like how to make nice packaging, how to find like better ways to send products, how to also like see if customers are sending emails which are like good feedback for your product, so you can improve it. Most of the time I was ignoring it. Like my customer support team was like, they had like their SOPs like to answer the customers and also get kind of rid of them. Yeah. But now like getting the feedback and also like improving that. And that's like what I'm looking for. So I have done like a profit goal for this year, but because the branding thing is a little bit more long term, so I can't tell you like a specific profit number I want to look for the next 5 years. But yeah, this is like really where I want to put more energy into it.
Gotcha. Dope. All right, so I think that's probably gonna be a wrap on your end. Do you have like, plug yourself? Where can people find you? Where can people see see more of your Pinterest results?
Yeah, so if somebody's listening to it and is interested in run Pinterest ads, doesn't matter if as like a main traffic source or as additional one to become also more independent from Facebook bans and all those headaches. You can just find me on Instagram, Julien Alive. You can send me a message and we can have a little chat. And yeah, just go on Instagram, Julien Alive, or go on Rainus or Jacob's profile. Look who they are following to. Type in Julien, and if you haven't done it yet, also book your call with Rainus and Jacob if you're still struggling getting like more revenue through email marketing.
Even if you're not struggling, we'll see if we can help you out. All right. Thank you so much for hopping on a call with us, Julien. It was very nice to talk to you. We're going to need to do an episode in Dubai. We have an interesting video concept idea, a podcast idea. Might be like very early, but we'll tell you about that when we're there.
Awesome.
Let's link up. Let's get some dinner.
Right.
Let's get some
Thanks
dinner.
for the invitation, and yeah, see you in Dubai. And yeah, looking for the next episode.
Yes. Peace. If you thought this episode was valuable, share with a friend that might find this information useful, and leave a 5-star review so we can reach more influential people and bring lessons back to you. Now, I'll see you in the next episode.